Boom.
Sync.
Right. So what are we talking about, actually? I forgot.
We are talking about, I don't even know, man. What are we talking? There's something really beautiful that happens when you let go, right? Because that's the whole thing with acting, which is like you're kind of, in a way, walking a tightrope, and ultimately you just have to let go and see what happens. And I've realized lately that also translates in the things that in the films that I love, and every artist that I see. And
So you're talking just more about being open to right on the spot, basically incorporating what you do into your life at any given moment, so it's not really a forced thing, or it's not really a planned thing, or a completely micromanaged thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I think that when you're making a film, there's, you write a script and you have the script and it's got to hit all these marks, right? And everybody's really, as a writer, you're really aware of that. When I was, working on I'm Not Me, it was something that kind of intervened with the acting a little bit. And it's, obviously we train for it as actors, and you know what you're getting in for, but in a way, to me, in the long run, it ends up dulling the work because you're not surprised by it anymore,
And some people are like, that's what you got to do. You got to work hard. You got to pay your dues. You got to hone your craft in. And then other people, and then they don't like kind of what you're saying, but they think of it as like, we just get together and we make a movie. Like, what are you going to say? Oh, I'll say this. Yeah, put a camera on us. Like, I think that's a misconception of what you're talking about, because I think people, when you talk about what you're saying, people are like, oh yeah, these guys are just to get together and like ad-lib it, or like, so, like
right. I'm not saying that.
Well, but there's people out there that feel that it's lazy filmmaking, and I don't think that's exactly what you're talking about. I don't think that that's at all what people who do that are thinking. I've scripted something out, and I go in like, okay, well, here's the script, and people are like, I wouldn't say that, or this sounds better, let's try this. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But it started with a plan, and I think that the opponents of this idea of not having a complete formed out script and a complete precision of everything think, well, we don't come in with a plan. I think it's just coming in with I don't have to stranglehold the idea or the scene to the point where the more you close your fist, the more that leaks out through your fingers.
But where you are the director, and so you're more hyper aware of the fact that you have to, that certain things have to happen in the story. You know what I mean? And so that restricts you in some way. And at least that was my experience with, with doing I'm Not Me, because I was so hyper aware of the fact that, like, if this didn't happen, then, oh my God, how was, am I going to get my point across, or how is the audience going to feel?
Gotcha.
And as an actor, you're already trained not to do that. But I think as a filmmaker, I learned that lesson through that movie.
You maybe having to do both roles, it was tough, but being just an actor going into it, I'm just going to keep going until you say stop, or you're going to move me in another direction, but I'm going to keep going with what I have in front of me, and I'm not going to worry about it so much. It's your job. And I always feel that when I'm on set, like, it's the actor's job to question everything I'm doing sometimes, in the sense of like the motivation behind the character and the script, and not no like can you do this, and they're like, no, like we're like in a collaborative way.
And I think the difference between this and the last film that I was lucky enough to collaborate on, I kind of wanted to go in it, letting go of all those things, and obviously understanding the structure and what needs to happen, but just really try to experience it from the most honest place possible, and just allowing that to take you wherever it's going to take you, even if it's not necessarily, what is exactly intended. But ironically, it leads you there, and the story's there. It's going to lead you there regardless.
Especially if you have certain points you have to hit, or certain places you need to check in. sometimes I think of it as like, I'm just gonna have to hit 5 or 6 rest stops, like places that I have to get to.
Right.
And everything else on the way there can be a surprise or can be fun, but once I do have to get to these 5 points, how long of a road I take to get there, it's fine, but those are important points. And like, I think that even Kubrick said, like, you know, you make a movie, you get 6 parts and you put them together, like 6 things that have to happen.
Right, 6 major things.
Yeah, and then you put them together. I mean, I don't know if it's a
Right.
major thing, but like, and I think that that's true. But I think it's like we said before, it's like that stranglehold. The more, in my opinion, the more you come on set and the more you like, everything has to be exactly the way I think it has to be. I
Yeah,
think you
the more you
lose
restrain it.
sight, and you also lose like something that could be lovely and great in your actors, and something that you think that they are good at, and your actor's actually not good at that. They're good at this, and they're trying to show you that they're good at this, and you're not listening.
Right.
That's another problem, I think.